So the three sort of strands that we're working to are what is effectively the core CVS service offer, which is around supporting community organisations in our area of operation, and then the two more generic aspects of employability and skills training and supporting health and well-being. Helping communities. The one thing that has really come out of COVID is around not funding, but also governance advice and support, and setting up CIOs, CICs, people wanting to do something for the benefit of their communities and wanting to set up groups to enable that to happen. So we've had quite a lot of requests around that sort of activity. And then our very generic core offer as a CVS is around finance, representation, and things that we can do in terms of networking, partner development, and representing the voluntary sector on some of these boards. So our offer to you as members, we are restructuring our membership, and we'll be putting together a series of e-bulletins, workshops and resources going forward. Support around constitutions, providing templates and advice so that people can have that as a starting point, and then we can build further knowledge onto that. And then it's really kind of a well-being check for your organisation. So it's good governance, safeguarding, health and safety, finances and compliance. So it's working along that kind of route. So over the period of our last report, which was virtually either all in lockdown, very briefly out of lockdown, and then in whatever tier you have to be on consecutive days, we supported over 60 groups virtually, on Zoom meetings primarily, 30 additional groups by phone and email, over 100 funding opportunities, and our new funding bulletin seems to be very well received and is a great source of information. Partnership meetings, and I have to say, not having to travel to partnership meetings was a blessing. Nice to see people, but with the number that we were attending, it was a good way of doing it. And then we've supported HCF with their training courses, again, all held online, and over 220 learners were on those courses. Under the banner of employability and skills training, we have three major projects at the moment. Our Building Better Opportunities project, which is engaging with people furthest from the workforce. We have some of our mentors here today who need to know more about it. Job Smart is primarily targeted at those who found themselves unemployed as a result of COVID. And Sarah and Tierney are both here and able to talk to anyone who wants more information about Job Smart. And then we have a contract with Step to Skills, which was Haffles. Still can't get my head around it. It's always been Haffles. It always will be Haffles to us. And we are delivering a range of courses, primarily digital skills, employability and well-being. And we are noticing a massive demand for well-being courses coming through. So the offer that the team are able to provide in terms of employability and skills are CV writing, interview practice, opportunities for job searching, volunteering, using online platforms to job search. Someone who's been in a job for 15 years has never had to go through that kind of process. So there's been a lot of work in using online platforms. Training and small group mentoring. So over the last year, we've got 430 claimants supported by JobSmart, 32 people into volunteering opportunity, and 26 people into employment. I think the figures speak to themselves, and it's been a really successful programme, and we are looking now to secure funding for an additional 2 years to keep the programme going. Health and well-being, we've talked a lot about this today. Through COVID, there were a lot of health and wellbeing projects which came up. We were responsible for the shopping and prescription delivery service through Community Health Hertfordshire in East Herts. Volunteers and volunteer support for those projects, and the community transport, some of our drivers stepped up and started to do the shopping and prescription service. A lot of mutual aid schemes were set up around the two districts, and we've been supporting them. And then the Healthy Hubs for Broxbourne and East Herts both went online, but we provided drop-in sessions through those initiatives. We run digital inclusion projects, so as well as training, we can provide refurbished equipment, IT equipment to people who don't have access to it, and that is really taking off now. And one of the things that we're working on very closely now is healthy living and eating sessions in our hubs. So the projects that fit into our health and wellbeing initiatives are the transport service. We still have a few people that we support with groceries and medication prescriptions. Setting up community hubs, we've been working with Network Homes and now have a new hub on the Seal Estate in Hertford. We've now got Claudia helping with our volunteer recruitment and support, and building the partnerships, especially through the healthcare networks around social prescribing. And then the friendly phone calls fit in with the mutual aid clubs and using our buildings to bring people back together that we can use them. So over the last year, we enabled more than 300 people to get to their appointments, delivered more than 200 grocery supplies, and delivered more than 250 prescriptions. We're working with the key partners how to progress this in the future, building on the work of the mutual aid groups, looking at remade schemes in some of our communities. And that's it. Just a very brief kind of overview as to the sorts of things we can do as an organisation to support you. So if anyone's got any questions or wants to know any more information, feel free.